Hello again, everyone. My name is James Shotwell, and this is Music Biz. It's so good to be with you again. So a few weeks ago, I learned about this metal band from Florida called Seven Kingdoms. Now, they've been around since 2007, and not long after starting, they landed a deal with Nightmare Records. Now, this was great timing for the band because it got them in front of tons of crowds all over the world. It exposed them in the way all musicians want to have exposure, and it really got them out there. The band stayed with Nightmare for a couple of releases, but in 2016, they decided to do something different. They decided they wanted to pursue crowdfunding, and that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I should go without saying that crowdfunding is a very dicey proposition. On the one hand, if you can successfully pull it off, the only person you have to answer to is your fans, and that's kind of the ideal scenario. You get exactly the amount of money that you need to continue living your dreams, and you get to deliver to your fans exactly what they want with no extra middlemen in the process. However, if your plan fails and the crowdfunding doesn't work out, well, that can be a little bit embarrassing, and frankly, it can be a little deflating to both your ego and your confidence moving forward, and you don't want that. But Seven Kingdoms decided to push through with it, and in 1 year, they managed to put out 2 crowdfunded releases. And with the positive energy and the positive reaction to the content they put out, their fans continued to support them. In fact, the band never went back to a label, but they've consistently put out music, including this month, June 2022, when the band is releasing yet another full-length album completely backed by their fans. So when I heard about this story, a metal band that isn't charting on Billboard, isn't dominating rock radio, isn't playing Wacken and all the big festivals around the world, who has an audience so devoted that they've spent at least 6 years supporting everything the band wanted to create, I had to know the story, and thankfully Seven Kingdoms was willing to tell it. So right now you're going to hear 2 members of the band, husband and wife, discuss how they pulled off their crowdfunding feat. Check it out. Okay, let's put 5 minutes on the clock. Sabrina and Camden, thank you so much for being here. Give me the elevator pitch for your new album, Zenith. So if you had to tell me about it in 30 seconds or less, why should people listen?
It's crazy awesome. It sounds like if Heart, Journey, and Metallica made a baby, and it's got everything you want and more.
Tired of your old bland power metal? Check out Zenith from your neighborhood. Or friendly neighborhood power metal band.
From Florida.
Great. I love it. Now, Seven Kingdoms has been around for a minute now. And something that I find fascinating about your story is that, at least for the last couple of releases, you've successfully crowdfunded each of them. Now, something that I talk about a lot through our channels is harnessing your audience and kind of building a community that would make that possible. And so many artists don't. So I'm curious, how long have you been doing the crowdfunding approach, and, what gave you the inspiration to start?
Basically just, not getting the results we wanted out of a traditional label, that we turned into Kickstarter because we saw other bands doing it, and I just ran numbers on a spreadsheet and it worked. So we've been doing, it's our 4th time doing it, and I don't really see us not doing it.
We use it like a merch store rather than please give us money.
It's a public pre-order, so people have the extra kind of incentive to get behind it to see goals get met.
Right.
Now, a lot of artists try this and fail, but clearly you've had repeated success. What do you think are the things that people mess up when they do these campaigns?
They don't have a good product, or they don't have a mixture of good product, or they're not showing what they're offering, or what they're offering is just not worthy of the money.
I feel like sometimes they don't put enough time and effort into the way that their Kickstarter looks. They don't show good enough pictures of the merchandise they either have or they're intending to print. And I think also they don't seek out the right avenues of exposing it. So sometimes people have really good products, but they just didn't execute any of those things well.
I couldn't agree more. I'm curious, when it comes to marketing these, so how do you guys communicate with your fans? What are the platforms? Do you run a mailing list? Is it social media? How are you getting the word out about these products?
With Kickstarter, the cool thing about using the Kickstarter platform is you can direct message all your backers from the last one. So essentially this time I go through and hit 3 other Kickstarters, like, hey, here's the link, go to the new one. And we did it. We hit the first goal without even putting it on Facebook.
We did. Also, we have Twitch and Discord. People follow us on. We have the natural following is on Facebook, but right now the people who supported us the most were through the previous backing through Twitch and Discord, and they did it within 36 hours.
Yeah, it's like a restaurant soft open kind of.
Yeah.
I love that. What do you guys think is the secret to your community? How do I assume that because you have such a digital fan base, they're spread all over the world. I'm sure the band can't reach them all physically. So what's the secret sauce to like keeping those people all connected?
Twitch and Discord.
Well, I think it's us genuinely telling them that we wouldn't exist without them, and we appreciate them, and that we act, just like regular ass people, because that's what we are.
Like we haven't really had anything like handed to us. You know what I mean? We have to really we have to be there to get the result versus blowing up with some label taking care of everything and then you're disconnected.
Yeah, I handwrite every envelope. So
I love that personal touch. When I used to have a record label and I used to always handwrite thank you notes to every single person. I think that goes a long way.
I like to draw inside, like when people order vinyls, I always draw a random cheeseburger on the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that people remember those kind of things.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm curious, as you said a second ago that you can't really imagine a world where you don't follow crowdfunding. Now, as we get into just having a minute left here, I'm curious, what would it take? Like, is there a pie in the sky dream that would make you abandon this? Or do you like the independence of crowdfunding that, why change?
I mean, we would have to be moving like a warehouse worth of like product. Essentially.
We can't do it by ourselves at that point.
Once that happens, there's enough circulation to get an actual real record deal with a label. I mean, there's a bad one and there's a good one that the labels give you, and essentially you're stuck getting the bad one until you're the size of Accept. Or you get that kind of legacy deal where they get the rest of your catalog until you retire, essentially. Otherwise, everything else is just the money's not there, and it's like it's against between a 40 and 80% recoup on your product, which is why do that if you can bankroll the whole thing. And
your answer doesn't always have to be no because money. Because you can do a lot of things without money, but record labels' favorite word sometimes is no.
Yeah, they'll have control of the product essentially, and then they'll tell you we don't have time to do that, and you won't do it the way that you wanted to do it.
Great response. Well, we're basically out of time, but I do want to give you the opportunity to tell us some more things. So Zenith is arriving very, very soon. Tell me the rest of 2022 for the band. Tell people how they can be part of the next campaign. Give me all the details real quick.
Well, we were supposed to tour in October this year, but that tour got moved to April and May. So April and May next year, we're going to come back out. We'll announce that soon. We have a couple festival things that'll be announced soon. We have a CD release party here in Tampa, here in Florida, July 1st, and then another little Central Florida Metal Festival in September, middle of September, I think the 17th and 18th. And
our fingers are crossed for 70,000 tons.
Yeah, we're
7K on 70K. It'll give us more than 5 days.
But basically we're just spending this in next year and potentially some of 2024 touring on Zenith. And in the time being, we'll, probably not this year, but starting next year, maybe we'll start dabbling and writing the next one.
Well, I love it. Thank you for taking so much time to talk to me. You made it to the end. Did you have a good time?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you again for being here. I'm wishing you all the luck with your record.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Wasn't that great? I want to thank the members of Seven Kingdoms for being with me, as well as John Freeman of Freeman Promotions for setting this up. If you ever need metal PR, he's a great guy to seek out. I'll be back soon with another edition of Music Biz. We have another Fast 5 already in the can. It should be here very soon. But until then, be sure to subscribe and follow us, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or whatever place you prefer to get podcast and video content. I'm sure Music Biz is available there, so please find us, subscribe us, like, comment, and we will do our best to interact with you. This place exists to help you navigate the modern industry. That means emerging trends, news stories, learning from success, learning from failure, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So please join me. It would be great. And if you already have, well, thank you for your continuing support. It makes this channel possible. I cannot thank you enough. And until I see you next time, take care of yourself because you deserve it.